What is up, YouTube? How's it going? This is Dave, and huge surprise, we're just finishing up another oil change on the 3-liter Sierra. So we've got the fabulous 100% auto oil life there. We're gonna kill her, and hold on a second, doink, grab the keys, and I'm gonna go over here because we got something special here. So unfortunately, this is gonna go bye-bye because it's no longer an LSA, which is sad. Sad for me, sad for you, maybe. I don't know. But what we are gonna do is talk a little bit about what's doing, right? So here's what we got going on. You know, simple NA build. Very simple. Still has the blower cam. It still has the Boostmaster cam in there. Still have all the hooks in there for doing a boosted setup. And I was really surprised, actually, because most people, it was right down the middle. A couple of straggler things, but it was either Big Cube, NA, or Procharger. There was some turbo guys in there. There's like 3 or 4 guys who said turbo, but I got some messages. I got like post on my events page and on the video itself. So I think what we're gonna do, you know, I'm really torn between doing an NA build and doing a Procharger build. However, I have been looking into the Procharger build a lot, okay? And I think it's something I'm gonna do because it's cool, and it's something else I wanna try just to kind of see how things go. So looking under the hood here, obviously it's not clear when you first look at this. For guys who've done the SS, it's not very clear. Like I looked, putting a Procharger right here is possible, all right? You know, in this area, it is very, 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 very tight, all right? I do believe something's gonna hit here. I feel like the PPV may be a little wider or something. I think they shift it kind of off to the side, so it comes out and it goes this way. It doesn't give you any room here, and you definitely gotta cut up some stuff in there. So as much as I wanna do the C6 vet drive, apologize, I pounded a beer, so I'm a fat guy burping, excuse me. But one thing that I am definitely doing right now while I put the pieces together for the Procharger is I'm going to get rid of the Rotofab. The IATs on it are, the IAT Rise is just nuts. I'm driving around out there now, it's like in the 40s, and like right now it's like 50 something, but like it's starting to cool down into the 40s. When I was driving the car, it was 40s. It was showing at eventually 100-degree intake air temperatures. That's just flat out stupid. Now, granted, it makes a lot of sense because you've got a box here that is basically just a oven, and the intake on the Rotofab is actually really small. Kind of snakes down. It snakes way down into here. All right, so what's the solution for that? I got a solution. It's a VCM over the radiator intake. I'm going to put that on the car while I'm working on the boosted setup, because of course I am not interested in doing something that is going to have problems. And I have talked to a lot of really fast, way faster than me, Dylan, John, those guys, Procharger guys, much faster than me. Like I know John is exceptionally into the 9s, and that's all I'll say. He had bracket flex problems because doing some of the research, the SS bracket, the main bracket to hold the Procharger is the older design, the Gen 1 design. Every other main GM vehicle, Vets, Camaros, got a bigger bracket, got the beefier Gen 2 bracket. So unfortunately, we didn't get that. So I am not gonna start with that. What I am gonna do though, is I'm gonna get the Gen 2 Camaro SS bracket, and specifically the 13, I believe it's the 13 through 15 bracket, and I'll confirm all that for you. And what it does, it's for the electric assisted steering, right? So it doesn't have like, so the earlier ones, and I wanna say it's the, I'm gonna screw this up, the 10 through 12 Camaros, sorry, doing a fat guy belly rub here, had the power steering up in this area. So I can easily move the catch can anywhere in here, and I just got to get some fuel injection, you know, the emission line. That's easy. So I can replace that, lengthen it, do whatever I got to do. But I'm going to bring that somewhere in this region, probably come up with an easy bracket to mount it, maybe up here or something like that. So, you know, if I have the VCM in this area, rotofab's going to be gone. It frees up, like I mentioned, it frees up a big space in this area. So that's going to be important in a minute. All this gets freed up. Procharger is going to be in this area, so it's going to be in a similar area, and it's hard to explain until I actually get all this out of here. But in this area here, this is very weird. Like, this screen keeps trying to turn forward, so I apologize if I'm getting like this weird herky-jerky stuff going on with the video. There's this strut tower straight portion here. I'll be the first person to criticize something on this, but I'll also try to help you on it as well. I flat out hate the way that they do the air intake on the Prochargers, especially, well, the ones that are facing backwards. It's just dumb. Like, I don't understand why they do that when they could easily change it. They take it and they run it up over the engine, so like they get the absolute hottest possible air that you could throw in there. Let's just put it right over the headers and let it suck up all that nice heat. So then it's just hot air being compressed, pushed into the motor. It gets hotter and jamming into the engine. Let's just do that. That sounds like a great idea. Not for me. We're going to change that. We're going to fix all that. So back to this. So when I'm back, when I'm in here, this will all be gone. Procharger bracket for the Camaros is actually a bit further out than the original SS bracket. Not sure how well this view is going to be, so apologies. Eventually this will be out of the way. I can do some measurements. I'll be moving things in and out here. VCM will end up taking up the space in here, so I'll do a video on that. But right in here is a pulley that kind of takes the place of what would have been the power steering pump. I got to address that. Basically, that just wraps around, and then it goes all the way down to the alternator, way down there, and then comes back up over another idler, and then goes down to the balancer, up to here, to a tensioner, under the water pump. And that's like your main accessory drive for the car. I have to address this pulley with the bracket. So I'm definitely going to have to move the catch can somehow. I'm not sure exactly where that'll end up going. But the bracket pushes the whole blower out, right? So it moves it out. But what that does a couple things. One, I'm hoping it eliminates the interference issue that ends up happening in this area with the fender, because I know some guys have had to dent the fender in to get the blower to fit. It changes the position of the blower. You can obviously, like with either bracket, you can actually change the volume to point downward. For some reason, Procharger has it turned this way, and then it has a hard S bend that comes down, then it goes down in the front. Then you have your front mount, comes around here, comes back up, comes in. Very convoluted path. I don't really like it. I'm going to probably do something different anyway, but I got a couple of ideas, so just, bear with me. I'm going to end up probably having to do a lot of like my own custom stuff on this, but I will make it available to you, so that's the cool part. When you're down in this area, it ends up having the blower gets pushed forward. And I'll mock all this up once you start to see what I'm talking about. So it moves the blower forward, so I don't know if it's going to have interference on here, so I may have to do something funky there with the blower, but I don't think it will be an issue with the hose. But we'll deal with it as we get to it, right? So blower moves this way. What I can do then is come over the blower and down through here for an air intake if I really want to do it, or I can reverse and come out this way and go back to the VCM. So I'm either going to reverse, come around, and go into the VCM over here, or I'm going to try to do, I'll probably end up doing it, or move the VCM intake so I can do some, like, I do composite stuff for a living. So I'm a manager now. So I wrangle cats for a living. So I don't get to do cool stuff really much anymore. But I can make a composite, move the intake over, because it just needs to suck the air in, right? So I could potentially move the intake over to here and have it suck in from the side, and then just have a nice clean intake, drop the other intake, the output of the blower, drop down, come up through the front, make a 90 into the front of the intake. And, so you're going to say, well, okay, how do you cool the air? Well, so that's the cool part, right? So what I'm thinking about doing is doing a low rise Holley intake and sandwich their intercooler. So Tick Performance sells a really cool setup. You see it here. And that setup mathematically should fit. It's gonna be a little tight, but it should fit. And I'm hoping I can get it underneath the cowl here. But you know, I need, and I don't remember exactly what the height is, but I'll take a look. And I don't think I have a tape measure out here. But ultimately, I got to get it underneath the cowl, and if I can get it there, then you know she fits, and it'll give me a little bit of room to play with how I bring the intake in. So that's the plan at this point. I'm sticking to it. I'm about to go get the bracket from Brute Speed. I'm gonna have to, you know, kind of take things apart, put it back together, take things apart, and you'll get to see that. But you know, welcome to the, you know, SS 2.0. This is what we're doing. We're gonna see how things are going. I am gonna definitely adjust the suspension again, just to kind of hit other areas of the car. I am gonna go back and get a lot more, maybe not a lot more, but a decently more aggressive camber put on the car for autocross. Because I said I still want to do that. The Procharger, I haven't figured out just yet which one I'm going to do, but it's a lot more linear in how it hits. So it's kind of like a turbo in that regard. So what I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do, and I can just pulley the thing appropriately to lower the boost if I need to. But I'm going to have an autocross tune, much easier to do that. And then I'm going to have, you know, the full out, let's go kick some ass, the track tune, at a drag strip tune. I am hoping that whatchamacallit, what's their names? Who the guys? Mickey Thompson comes out with those 285 drag rails. I believe it's a 285, and I'm gonna screw this up. I think it's a 285 45 17. I really hope that they come out with that, because that's going to be the tire for this car. It'll fit a lot better than the 305s. I wouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to roll anymore. But yeah, close one book of the SS, you know, with the LSA, and I think maybe I'll just put a 1LE here just to be an a-hole and piss people off. But I think I'll do that since I'm going to be working on the suspension anyway. If that doesn't work for me, then I'm just going to end up probably pulling the magnetic ride, and I'm putting coilovers on it. But we'll bridge that gap when we get to it, guys. So thanks for watching. Going to try to keep you guys well informed of what's going on. We're getting the bracket on order. Should be here in like a week or so. Until then, guys, thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. And hey, until next time, guys, keep the shiny side up. Take care.